Hi, everyone. My name is Zaini Jamali, and I'm a first-year MBA student at Columbia Business School. I'm also on the board of the Columbia Entrepreneurs Organization here at CBS. And having helped organize this over the last couple of months, it's really rewarding and exciting to see you all here today. I'm here to introduce you to our next speaker, Peter Keckley. He's from the front lines of mission-driven media, and I was just talking to him backstage, and I think this is going to be super inspiring for many of you. Peter graduated from Columbia College in 2003, and he's been making important ideas irresistible for more than a decade now. As an Onion editor, a viral video producer, and now as the co-founder of Upworthy. At 24, he actually became the managing editor of The Onion, and in early 2012, Peter co-founded Upworthy with longtime collaborator Eli Pariser. Peter, thank you.
Thank you so much. It's great to be back here. It's the first time I've been back to Columbia in a while, and it's just remains as gorgeous as ever. I wanted to talk today about just three quick things. I want to talk about why we started Upworthy and what it is for people that don't know us, how we arrived at our business model, which was a little bit of a journey, and offer a little bit of practical advice for how I think people should go about trying to change the world. So we started Upworthy about 3 years ago because we saw the whole media landscape changing. We saw newspapers declining in importance, and we saw news feeds ascendant. We saw, and we got really worried. My co-founder, Eli Pariser, wrote a book about it called The Filter Bubble, about the sense that ideas would just get lost as we went from an era of editors to an era of algorithms. The core idea was just that like it's easy, when all media is only seen if it's shared with you, there are a lot of important ideas that just don't get shared. That's like a lot easier to share a baby photo or a cat video or something ridiculous than it is to share like the latest news from Syria or something like that. So we decided to start a company to try to fill that gap, to try to make the important stuff just insanely, wildly talked about, as viral as anything else. And we started taking it around to investors, and we got a lot of good luck with that. Like, you know, I think we said, like, yeah, we want to start a media site. We're not going to cover sports. We're not going to cover fashion. We think celebrity gossip is meaningless. And we want to be one of the biggest sites on the internet. So we eventually found some backers, and we launched. Within a year, we were being called the fastest growing media company of all time. And now 3 years later, we're still going strong. And I think that you know, that happened not in spite of having a mission and having like a real clear purpose at the heart of what we were doing, but I think it happened because of it, because we like figured out how to tap into a real human need to share stuff that you actually really care about. People share things for many reasons, and one of the big ones is, oh, I actually think this is important. I actually think everyone in the world should know about this, and that's what we tap into. You know, it's really hard. We have good weeks and bad weeks, good months and bad months. But every time we see a video about climate change get 5 million views, or about income inequality, it's just really, really powerful feeling. And we got an email that was from, after we posted a video on how challenging it is to grow up in the closet, and we got an email from somebody that said, I watched that video last night. If I'd watched it today, it would have been too late. And we get emails like that all the time. So that's why we started Upworthy. That's why we do what we do. The business model, you know, so the conventional wisdom when you're starting a business, when you're starting a startup, like a venture-backed startup, not a like real business, is that you shouldn't care at all about your revenue model. You shouldn't worry about the business. You should just grow, grow, grow. And because we were starting a media business, and we knew that media is a terrible business in general and in massive cataclysmic decline and change at the same time, we thought we had to have like a point of view at least, a guess on what our business model would be, because it wasn't like there was just an easy one we could slap on later. And our first guess was actually like, oh, we're going to get all these people to care about climate change. We're going to get 1 million people. We'll then connect those people to the Sierra Club and get them to sign up on their list, and we'll do like a nonprofit lead generation model. We tried that for a year. Turned out we were like quite bad at it because the key to a lead generation model is like highly qualified leads who are like definitely going to give $100 to Sierra Club the next day. And we were getting people, because of our mission, who hadn't thought about it in years, wasn't one of their top issues, and they were caring about it for the first time. So about a year later, we kind of figured it out. And we figured it out in a way that kind of actually proves that conventional wisdom about startups fairly right, which was, we had been working so hard to get people to care about these issues, to tune in. You know, you don't wake up in the morning thinking like, I want to spend 5 minutes of today thinking about the problem of domestic violence in America. Like, nobody wakes up thinking that. Some awesome people wake up thinking that. Yeah. So we had to work twice as hard to get people to care, to get people to pay attention, get people to spend time with us. And then we discovered, oh, actually, nonprofits are trying to do that too, and also the largest corporations and brands in the world also want that. And brands over the past decade or so have realized they need to connect authentically with people, they need to talk about purpose, they need to mean something more than just, we sell some products that you might need. So we've now created a sort of purpose-driven version of advertising that we do, working with huge foundations and huge corporations, and it's going pretty well. So it took us a while, and it took us a couple rounds until we got it. And the last is just some semi-presumptuous advice on how I think people should go about trying to change the world, because I was at a nonprofit before starting Upworthy. And when we started it, we decided to start it as a business, because our mission is to touch, you know, everyone in society with the most important topic. So it has like scale built into it. It has huge ambitions built into it. But we really have the heart of nonprofit people. And so I think that like there's like a thing that both nonprofits and startups get right and wrong. And I think pairing them in the right way is the key to trying to change the world. So the thing that nonprofits get right is they aim at really huge problems. They're trying to solve hunger, they're trying to solve poverty, they're trying to solve disease, like really huge, worthy goals, things that actually matter. And then the thing they get wrong is they write these 5 or 10-year strategic plans and get grants that lock them into them, and then have no ability to move quickly and iterate and actually see what works. The best ones do. There are lots of great nonprofits. Some of my best friends are nonprofits. But generally, that's what they get wrong. And then startups have the opposite problem. They are really good at figuring out a small problem, solving a real problem in some measurable way, iterating quickly, learning rapidly. But a lot of them are like, and the end of that journey is people can upload photos slightly faster while on the go. Like, and it's just like, great, you changed the world from a world in which people uploaded photos slightly slower to one in which people uploaded photos slightly faster, but it's like, that's not what people say when they, like, mean when they say change the world. So I think if you do a little of both, you end in a really good place. So I think the key is to start by aiming really high about something that really matters. If we succeeded here, actually society would be better. And then start really small. So our big mission is to totally change what everyone cares about and thinks about and knows about every day, times billions of people spending hours and hours with us every day. We started by like realizing that if we could find good YouTube videos and put good headlines on them and distribute them on Facebook, we could get them shared a lot. Like, so it's like a pretty big gap there. But it allowed us to start, it allowed us to learn, it allowed us to measure, and it allowed us to like fail quickly in many ways and figure out the small percentage of stuff that was working really well and then just pour all of our energy into that. So it's a little of what I've learned in a crazy last 3 years running Upworthy. Thank you.